everyone. Today I got a video that I've been waiting months to make. Today I'm at the Niagara Lake Sailing Club and I'm going to show you the tour of my Sirius 21. The Sirius 21 was designed and built in Ontario in Owen Sound, Ontario, Canada by Vanistat and McGrewer. The Sirius 21 is a compact cruiser or a trailer sailor. It's a very small sailboat, but it's very spacious. So we'll take a look. Alright, let's go! As we make our way to the back here, we will find the cockpit. So pretty simple, just two benches on either side, and then a flat wall at the back where the transom is. So that's the transom there. So if you look in the hole here, we have a 3-gallon external tank, so that supplies fuel to the 2016 Yamaha 6 horsepower 4-stroke long shaft outboard motor. So this only has about 10 hours on it, so starts basically first try every time. Really great engine. And then we have a pretty nice wooden rudder and tiller. So let's hop on board here and we'll make it walk up on deck here. So this boat is made of fiberglass and the deck is actually in very great shape. You can see still see the grid marks despite the boat being from 1979. So we'll make our way to the bow. We'll take a look at the back here. As you can see, this boat is very wide. That is because it is a kind of a cruiser sailboat. Despite being 21 feet, it is larger to open up more space inside of the boat. Now here we have a anchor locker, so if I just lift this up, you will see an anchor in there, so that just kind of stays there. If we go back slightly, we have a hatch. So it's closed from the inside at the moment, but that lifts up, and that's a hatch. Along the side, we got two very distinct long windows, a wastewater kind of through there for the head, and then the rigging. So this is a masthead sloop rig. So there's the mast, goes straight up. It's got two shrouds on either side, a forestay, of course, that goes there, and even a baby stay that goes just in front of the hatch there. And then we got the boom with a nice blue cover over the mainsail. And we can make our way back. So in the cockpit on the right side, we also have two storage lockers. So the first one is right here, carries a bunch of line. And the other one is right back here. This one is the entire length of this bench seat. So it'll go all the way from there, all the way to there. And this stores a lot of safety equipment, cleaning supplies, as you can see. Some nice Spartan winches here. Okay, so we've just switched to the GoPro here so that we can get a wider angle view of the cabin and the interior space. So I'm just going to get that open right now. So let's take a look. So it's actually quite spacious inside. So if we take a look right here on the right side, we have, so this is a small dinette. Keep in mind the holes on the left and right there, as well as there, and farther up the bow, those are for storage, and the covers are currently missing because I'm going to be replacing them. So this is a small dinette there, that wooden piece in the middle, that lifts out, and there's two little notches in the wall there, and so this will become a table. But as you can see, when it's down, this is also a bed. It's quite tight, but two people could sleep in there, and that's the jib right there. If we move to the left side, at the back, we will find the quarter berth. So this is the quarter berth, and back there, the blue thing that you see, that is the gennaker. So the gennaker folds out from a sock. It'll just slide right out of the sock, and that's how you hoist it. And it goes way back in there, pretty deep, and then even goes all the way back inside of here. I'm not sure how well you can see, but there's quite a bit of space. You could store things, and I believe there is a kind of an external bilge pump in there, as well as the wiring for certain things. As we continue looking at the back here, you'll find a winch. So the Sirius 21 is actually a swing keel. So that winch right there with the mechanism, there's a clutch winch system at the back here that operates the swing keel. So the keel is stored completely under this kind of middle section right here. So it swings, pivots from that point there, and it lifts up from the winch and that cable that you just saw. So if I were to just crank this way, then I'm lifting up the keel, or if I go the other way, I am now lowering the keel. So if we look back here, we can see a control panel and also an old cassette radio and also a speaker. So this boat does have a stereo system. I assume it would connect to that little radio there, but there's also another speaker just back here behind that VHF radio. Okay, so let's move more forward now. So here we have a little galley space. If I lift this up here, you can see there is a alcohol 2-burner stove. To the right of that, we have a small little sink that operates with lake water, I believe, or I think you can actually hook up a tank to a hose down there and have your own kind of freshwater tank, and that would be done by this faucet that pumps, and just a sink that drains back into the lake. And that's your little dinette space with some storage underneath. If we keep going forward, we'll find another storage space with a bunch of extra parts and tools, and we will find the v-berth. So this entire front section here will become a bed, and that can sleep obviously easily 2 people. Yeah, so that's the v-berth there. And the little hump that sticks down, that is where the anchor locker was. And then you got a little bit of storage or whatever that must be at the bow, at the front there. And to the right, we have an open space with this hose. So this would actually be for the head. So this boat has a kind of a porta potty kind of toilet. That hose with the black kind of stick would go, attaches inside. And essentially, you just flip a lever to flush, and your waste goes into the tank in the actual porta potty, and when that gets full, then you can actually pump out from the waste kind of key opening we saw on the deck a little earlier. So that is the whole head system. And this big post right here is where the mast sits above, so that's kind of just support. And just in front of that, we have the hatch, as you saw. So if we just undo these, then we can open it up and get some air. So I want to talk a little bit about this boat specifically. So this boat was built in 1979. I bought it last September off an older gentleman from the Burlington Sailing Club. He was actually the original owner of this boat, and he's the only person that had ever owned this boat. So he bought it new in 1979, and he's owned it ever since. So this older gentleman hadn't been using the boat in the last few years, so he decided he would donate the boat to the Burlington Sailing Club for their sailing program, and they sold the boat and would use that money for their club and their sailing program. Because I was working a co-op in the area, so I happened to have my laser there at the Burlington Sailing Club. And so I was part of their little email newsletter, and I happened to see the boat for sale, and I thought it was a great opportunity. Reached out, and I bought it, and now I have it. Another very cool feature about the Sirius 21. So when I'm standing here, there's about 5 feet of headroom here. 5 feet or a little bit less than 5 feet of headroom in the sailboat, but it is actually a pop-top. So I can lift this entire roof section, and that gives about 6 feet of headroom. So I'm going to demonstrate that right now. There's 2 latches on either side, just like that hatch, and then you kind of just lift it right up, and you would attach it to your boom. when I get that video going, I'll put both sails up, and I'll show the entire process of getting this boat out on the water.